Hello again, YouTube world. It's your girl here, Dana Monet, here to recap another week of The Voice, Season 11, Knockouts. This is The Voice. Ring, ding, ding, ding. And I do apologize for getting the video up a little later than usual, but sometimes life happens. But we're here now, so let's get right into it. I am going to talk about everybody, but I am going to definitely point out who my favorites were from the knockout rounds. Just as a brief overview, I thought that Faith Hill and Tim McGraw did a good job, although I paid more attention to Faith than I did to Tim McGraw, and Faith can sing. Like, I knew she could sing, but she can sing. I was like, she better go ahead teaching them how it's done. So I was happy about that. And once again, I am completely 100% here for the enthusiasm that Alicia Keys has, because when her contestants are performing and she's like, yeah, yeah, like I just be dying because I just love it. It's like, it's distracting in like the best possible way, but she just be so hype and I'm like so here for it. Like she's like fresh meat, whereas Adam and Blake are like doing the same old jokes, the same old one-liners and stuff like that. And Miley and Alicia just got fresh, especially Alicia. I just love her enthusiasm while her contestants are singing. Is just, I love it. So anyway, moving on to night one of the knockout rounds. So we have Josh Gallagher and Sundance Head from Team Blake, and they're going up against each other. Sundance actually ends up winning the knockout, and Josh is stolen by Adam. So in my opinion, that's problem number one for Adam in this episode. But Josh sang My Maria, and I thought it was typical country. I was like, he can sing, but it's not my style. And I was surprised that Adam was so excited to steal him. Like, he's like generic country. He has some nice high notes, and I think he has a nice tone and everything like that. It was consistent. He'll probably get a lot of votes in a live. I'm not saying that he's not going to get votes. I'm just saying that I think that he's bland a little bit. I still don't think that Adam will win with a country singer though. Only Blake can do that as far as I'm concerned, because Adam has actually had some really good country singers that he's mixed it up with them, and typically I like them better than whoever Blake's country singers were, and they never win. So I just don't see that happening. Sorry, Adam. Sundance sang The Climb, and I was initially annoyed that he picked Miley Cyrus's The Climb. Like, really? You picked that song? He sang it just with the acoustic guitar, which I thought was cool. But he did sound really nice, especially at the end when, he took liberties with the melody and he was holding out notes nice and smooth and clean. And he's a country singer, but I can get behind him because he doesn't do like straight down the middle covers or straight karaoke. He actually adds interesting, inflections and changes things up, and not afraid to project his voice. In my opinion, he was the clear winner of the battles, and that's who Blake chose. Moving right along. This was the interesting, I said knockout. I get battles and knockouts mixed up. Same goddamn thing. Anyway, so the next one we had Kylie Rothfield versus Whitney and Shannon. And Kylie Rothfield won, and Whitney and Shannon were actually eliminated, surprisingly. But I'll get to them in a second. So Kylie sang Hound Dog. And she said that she's singing Big Mama Thornton's version of Hound Dog, which was the first recorded version of Hound Dog. I know a lot of people online and on the message boards are like, that's not her song because Lieber and Stoller wrote it or whatever the case may be, so they can give it to anybody. Okay, so I get it. She was the first one to record the song. Okay, let's get it straight. All right? So, or at least record it well. Anyway. So I knew that, Big Mama Thornton had a Big Mama voice, but I never really actually listened to her version. So I went on YouTube to go listen to her version, and it was just, I had stank face from the first note. I don't even know if I can really demonstrate the way she sang it, but it was like, ain't nothing but a hound dog. I can't sing with growl like on demand, but it was kind of serious. So when I heard that Kylie was singing it, I was kind of happy and kind of surprised, but I was like, Kylie doesn't have the voice. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. or something like that. You know how I am with the growls. I'm surprised she chose the song. However, this performance got mixed emotions from a lot of people online. I wasn't crazy about the kind of sweet, breathy kind of beginning she had. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Like, I wasn't crazy about that, although there was like this quiver in her voice that I did actually enjoy. And I think the more I listened to it, the more that I actually appreciated it. Now, towards the end, she put a little stank on that, but I feel like I needed stank on that like the entire song. Like, that song is meant to be stank. You're not meant to look pretty singing that song. Like, it's supposed to be gully. That's how I view that song. But I think that she did what she would do with the song. And, to me, she won the knockout with flying colors. Like I said before, towards the end, the grit and that rasp came out of her. So I appreciated that. Whitney and Shannon sang I Won't Give Up. And I'm just like, so much for them trying to get a duo to the lives. They've failed once again. They haven't been able to successfully get a duo to the lives since the Swan Brothers in season 4. And I had a feeling that they might get eliminated. First of all, Alicia's team is deep, 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 deep. And there's so many amazing singers that these girls just don't measure up. I think they have a great look. They're really cute. I think they're very marketable. I think that they could sell, but they really need to work on their voices. I don't know what it is about when you ask duos to sing individually, because their voices, especially on this song, it was really wavery, and it was more than them just being nervous. It was like you really are having difficulties finding the pitch. And even in their harmonies were a little bit shaky in the beginning, and their harmonies are usually spot on. So, I was very less than impressed with that performance. And that song, I Won't Give Up, I just feel like it's so uplifting, and it's got the I won't give up on us. I know that their voices are not like mine, and their voices are different, but I needed a little bit more, y'all are sisters, at least show it in your faces or something like that. And they just kind of, I don't know, sucked the soul out of the song for me a little bit. So Alicia made the right decision in picking Kylie. And I find it a shame because when they were up against that guy I really liked in the battles, I think his name was Gabriel, I thought that Gabriel won that battle, and, he should still be here. And they ended up getting eliminated anyway. So sucks for him. Maybe he'll be a comeback kid. Who knows? All right. So next knockout, we have Dave Moisen, and he sang Like I Can, and Simone Gundy sang Midnight Train to Georgia. And Adam chose Simone, and Dave was eliminated. I have to say, I don't know what happened to Dave. I really enjoyed his blind audition. He had some pitch problems, but he kept it together in his blind audition, and that song was really catchy, and I really enjoyed it. I absolutely loved the battle, that he was in with Michael Sanchez. That was great. Excellent. This song, pitch just went out the window. It's like it didn't even exist. I mean, his falsetto really isn't that commanding. It's not really that strong. It kind of reminds me of Nick Hagelin's falsetto from last season. Nick relied on it a lot, but it really wasn't that great. And that's the thing that I feel about Dave. He relies on his falsetto a lot, but it's not that great. And even his chest voice wasn't that great. I mean, this clearly wasn't the right song for him to sing, but it's genuinely showed up all of his flaws. He did not have a single good part in this performance. So he really crashed and burned, I think. I think he looks like Ryan Quinn from last season, without the glasses, but he sings like Nick. Maybe not even as good as Nick. Ryan Quinn sang way better than him, but that's kind of how I felt about Dave. So it was a little sad to see him plummet like that, but he just crashed and burned. So then Simone sings Midnight Train to Georgia, and I'm mad that she sang this song because I just feel if you're going to sing Gladys Knight, why not sing If I Were Your Woman? Alicia Keys covered that song, but at the same token, it's I just feel as though if you are a Black female R&B singer on one of these shows, and then you sing a song like this, you're automatically labeled as, okay, you're the black R&B singer who sings the old school soul songs, the done to death old school soul songs. And people are like never going to think that you can do anything different. That's like my fear, and this song can come across very, karaoke and everything like that. But I think that she did a really good job. And I think that it was definitely a step up from her blinds. This was definitely a most improved. We didn't see her battle because they montaged it. I hate those goddamn things. So she was definitely the most improved contestant. And she definitely deserved to move forward. And, she had this little hop thing on the, I got to go. That was cute. I like the hop. So Adam chose her to move on. But I just don't trust her on Adam's team. Like, I don't trust Adam doing the right things for her. Like, I feel like I'm thinking about Adam's team and it's a chance that she might make it past the playoffs, but I just don't think that he's going to do the right things. I definitely think that he's keeping her because a lot of the other teams have these big voice divas, and he's like, I need a big voice diva on my team, so I'm going to keep her. Because he could have easily have gotten rid of her in the battles. He could have, but he's like, nah, I got to keep a big voice diva. I got to. That's his strategy. I'm just saying. All right, so moving right along to Lauren Diaz singing Rise Up and Allie Caldwell singing No Ordinary Love. And this was on Team Miley. So this one kind of broke my heart a little bit, but Allie won the knockout and Lauren was eliminated. I was kind of sad to see Lauren go, but I think that she definitely let the nerves get to her full throttle because I thought that her blind audition was good, but I thought her battle was great. Her singing against Way, I mean, she held her own. But in this performance, she kind of choked. And I was like, well, maybe she should have played the piano because she was trying that in rehearsal and everything like that. Also, she didn't go up on the falsetto notes. She'd be like, I'll rise up, how I like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up. Well, no, that's not the right part. But it's the part. She didn't do that. She would go, bad note. I can't even sing. See, this is why I wouldn't even do that. I don't even know why she would go that route. You know why I didn't go that route because wrong note. That sounded horrible. But I was like, is she not capable of singing in falsetto? And then I looked at her other performances. I was like, when she sang If I Ain't Got You, she didn't sing in falsetto either because there's I think a part where Alicia Keys goes up in falsetto and she didn't do it. The Maybe song, I don't necessarily think it called for it, but she could have did an ad-lib. But I'm like, I don't think that this chick can sing in falsetto. I was like, you can't go, you. Maybe she can't do that last one or whatever, because I'm thinking about how Tamar Davis did it last season. Even though it wasn't perfect, she could hit them high notes. So I kind of feel like that song kind of needed those high notes a little bit. But that song's been kind of rough when people have been doing it on this show. So I also think that she's a potential comeback kid. Allie, on the other hand, okay, I have a little bit to say about Allie. So she sang No Ordinary Love by Sade. And I've been advocating for somebody to sing Sade on the show because I hear so many voices that remind me of her. And I'm like, does Sade just not clear songs? So apparently she does. So we got to hear a Sade song. So I will say this. I absolutely love Allie's voice. And I actually really enjoyed, for the most part, what she did with the song. I really loved the beginning. It was slinky and sexy. And she was definitely in character. She was confident and everything like that. And she was in the moment. She was all the way there. She was performing. However, I just think that this song is better suited for a low, deep, sultry, sexy, husky kind of voice. Kind of like, Dana Harper, whose battle was montaged as well. Keep crying. This is a Lazy Delivery type of song. It's in my heart all the way. This is no ordinary love. This isn't the song where you wail and go all kinds of crazy places. Trust me, there are a lot of songs out there where you can wail and go all kind of crazy places. this really isn't the song for that. And I think that for that reason alone, she shouldn't have sang this song, because her voice is just way too big for this song. She definitely hit all the notes, but it just didn't call for that. It took away like the mood of the song. So she knows she just needs to pick songs that are just meant for her to soar and so show off her range. That's all. And I think that Miley will hopefully help out with that. But she definitely, won that battle. So the next knockout was Courtney Ramirez singing If I Were a Boy and Way McDonald singing No More Drama. In reference to Courtney, first off, I just have to say, people are still singing the same old 3 Beyonce songs on these shows. If I Were a Boy, Halo, and Listen. She has tons of other songs that y'all can sing on this show. Beyonce is my favorite artist. I know every single one of her songs, okay? Like, seriously, pick some different songs, people, by B. All right, moving along. I haven't been the biggest fan of Courtney like that, but I kind of always appreciated her, like, fight and her spunk. It's kind of a shame that she was paired up against Way, to be honest, but I thought that she did a great job, and I think that she did a good job allowing the song to build. She didn't really screech in my ear, so that was great. That was the only real, like, genuine steal that night that I kind of thought should have happened. There was another steal that happened that I was happy about, but it shouldn't have happened because that person should have won the knockout. So I think that she's kind of potentially a comeback hit too. I think that she won't get it, but I think that she's potentially won. But I think that what could have maybe enticed someone to hit their button is for her to show that spunk again. So maybe if you're going to sing Beyonce, maybe sing Baby, I swear it's deja vu. Know that I can't get over you. And she could, thing I say is true. Whatever she would probably do, go up in her highness. But, just when I was kind of starting to like her, then she gets eliminated. So then we have Way. And she sang No More Drama. And all I could think of is that, well, first off, this girl is a force of nature. That's numero uno. And second of all, I'm like, imagine if she would have waited until the lives to perform this song and she would have got the full 3 minutes and just her like just ad-libbing and going cray and stuff like that. Because, I remember when Josh Ledette did it on Idol a couple years ago. Josh Ledette just totally went off script. He always making up his own words. It's like, do I have anybody in this building? I don't want no more drama. Or whatever the hell he did. So, but in any case, Way tore this thing up. Okay. So, her tone is absolute perfection. Her emotion is always on point. Like, she always feels. Her pitch is so precise. Like, this girl is only 17 and she's completely seasoned. Like, I just don't really see how she loses unless some stupid people, like, want to vote for Billy Gilman instead, or some country singer. But she is literally the best singer on this show. Like, when you look around, all around, and a lot of that has to do with her tone. Her tone is just so rich. Like, she kind of gives me like Michelle vibes. And thinking about her because I just recently saw the movie Surviving Compton. And Michelle has that little mousy voice. And so does Way. And then when they sing, it's like, ah! Like grown women and shit. So like Big Mama singing. You know what I mean? And I also think that the way that she holds her notes is really glorious, and her vibrato is completely on fleek. Like, I literally have nothing bad to say, except for the fact that I wish the performance was longer. And of course, Alicia chooses Way, because what other choice is there? I just feel bad. I would feel bad if I was on the show up against Way. I'd be like, okay, I'm losing. Like, that's what it is, I guess. So moving right along to a very peculiar knockout and peculiar decision by Mr. Adam Levine. So Riley Elmore versus Jason Warrior. Adam picked Riley. Riley sang Haven't Met You Yet, and Jason sang I Want You. So I can't believe that Adam and his dumbass actually picked Riley over Jason. He's such a one-dimensional type of singer, and he's not even exceptional at being this crooner. I just feel like he's definitely going in the playoffs because I don't think that people are going to be checking for him or voting for him at all. And if he decides to save his ass, I'm going to punch Adam in his face. I just don't really think people are really feeling this. I mean, he may save himself if he sings something current, but I'm totally like, I'm not here for Riley. He should have lost the battle and not gotten stolen. This resulted in an unnecessary steal. It really did. Completely. So Jason sings I Want You by Luke James. Luke James can sing. And I think Jason, I was a little bit on the fence with him in the beginning, but I'm slowly warming up to him, especially after his battle. I think he did a great job. He has very precise pitch and he like enunciates. You can understand every word that he sings. And it's like not annoying. It's like I'm telling you this story, but I'm, making sure I sing every word. It doesn't actually bother me. I thought it annoyed me in the beginning, but it doesn't bother me. I appreciate it. He has tons of conviction when he sings. He knows how to sing in the pocket too. And he definitely improved on those high notes that he was going through in rehearsal. I enjoyed the growls as well at the end. I mean, he was hitting those high notes clean and then went back in the chest voice with no problem. I mean, this was seriously a no-brainer. He was like, I want you. I think it was higher than that. You. Or something like it was up there somewhere. I mean, he was like damn near in whistle tone, but clean and precise. And I just really don't know what Adam is holding on to Riley for. Like he really could have just kept Jason. Like I don't really get it. But maybe you're better on Blake's team. Blake actually has a lot of R&B this season, so we'll see. So Blake steals Jason. And this was the conclusion of the Adam problem, but only for this episode. I'm sure he'll make more mistakes. So moving on to night 2. So we have Courtney Harrell versus Bindi Leibowitz. And Courtney sang River Deep Mountain High, and Bindi sang Son of a Preacher Man. And Blake ended up picking Courtney. And I really liked Courtney's whole look and her hair, so I'm going to get into the performance. And no, that doesn't mean I think she did a bad job. I was just really feeling her look. She had a very commanding presence from the start. She didn't have any nerves on those super high notes, and it's hard to keep vocal control during this song, but I think that she did it very well. There was a couple of spots where she sounded out of breath, but other than that, she definitely killed it. I mean, those high notes were up in the stratosphere. Like, I don't even know. Like, I can't even hit them notes in full voice, so I'm not even going to attempt to try and see what ridiculous sub-universe she was up in. Those notes were stupid crazy. It may sound screechy to some people, but I feel like it's mad impressive that she can do that and hit the high notes. I'm sorry, like, get it, girl. Hit them damn high notes. Go. Because you can. So Bindi, I'm a little bit disappointed in Bindi because I was kind of rooting for her. I feel like she definitely didn't reach her full potential. And she was kind of out of her depth being up against Courtney, to be honest. I do love her raspy, deep tone. However, Faith Hill was right when she said that when Bindi sings, she stays in one place. Like, she sings the same notes all the time. And it's like she tried to branch out a little bit, but I felt like she needed to do more. The song didn't have enough of an exclamation point. And also she had some pitch problems throughout. But I also think it was because she wasn't sure if she could or couldn't hit certain notes. And that doubt never bodes well for pitch at all. So, she was eliminated. So the next battle was Ponciano Seon singing I See Fire up against Billy Gilman, Fight Song. And of course, Adam chooses Billy because he ain't stupid. Well, he is stupid, but not when it comes to Billy. Not when it comes to his chosen one. He ain't stupid. So, with it basically kind of being a foregone conclusion that Billy was going to win this knockout, I think Ponciano was just like, I'm going to go out there and do me and do what I do best. He sounded nice. I like the arrangement of the song, typically a little bit faster with a little bit more angst. Like, I see fire, burning the flame. And he was like, I see fire. Dun, 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 dun. So it was a little dragging. He did have kind of a lazy delivery, and I felt like he fell off on a couple of notes. He had some little bit of pitch issues, but at the end of the day, it was an average, forgettable performance. And then Billy Gilman sang Fight Song, And I just have to say about this song, I thought this was like kind of a corny pick of a song. This is my fight song, take back my life song. Like this song is just made for commercials and to like kind of get you pumped, like maybe for the Olympics or something like that. This is not, I don't know, it just, whatever. Anyway, I think his voice is very pure. And I like the way he just kind of pops into his head voice with ease. His voice isn't my typical cup of tea because I kind of like men that kind of have some substance to their voice. But he can definitely sing and has, the widest range of all the guys with the exception of Jason. I found the song to be a bit boring though, because we hear it all the time. I talked about it earlier. But his voice would do very well recorded. Billy is still kind of at arm's length for me. Like, I know that he's one of the chosen ones. But I really genuinely don't think that he can beat Way. Do we think that he can beat Way? I don't know. Like, it's like he's trying to be perfect. And I don't like singers that try to be perfect. I just like singers who are great, like, passionate singers. So, I don't know. Like, he's still kind of at arm's length for me a little bit. But he definitely won the knockout. So the last battle of the night was Belle Jewel singing Don't Dream It's Over versus Christian Cuevas singing Superstar. So I just have to give a round of applause for them finally showing Belle after her being montaged in the blinds and the battles. So she didn't get the dreaded 3 montaged treatment, but she ended up getting stolen anyway. So, that's great. And I thought that her look was very cute. It was like straight out of the 40s. She was like giving me sparkling Audrey Hepburn. So I was completely feeling it. And her parents are so like mod, like retro too. Like I love it. Her mom had this red hair that was very like I Love Lucy-esque. Okay. So I think her voice fits into a certain niche that either you love it or you hate it. I don't hate it, but a voice like this, I feel, is never going to win The Voice, in my opinion. I think her voice is pretty, but she doesn't do a lot of playing with the melody, and she kind of sings the same notes. I don't know, it wasn't enough oomph in the performance. She doesn't really challenge herself vocally from what I can see. Good for her for getting stolen. Miley stole her. Although I think the steal could have been used maybe on, somebody else. Possibly. We still have another week, and Alicia is the only person with a steal left, so we'll see what happens with that. However, one of my favorite performances of that night was Christian, and while this song is a bit cliche, and he has a tendency to sing these types of songs, I actually think he did an excellent job navigating in and out of this song, and his tone was really hitting me hard. He took his time with it. And even though he only had 90 seconds to begin with, I feel like, he just milked every moment. I like the liberties he took with the melody. He knows how to play with the song. And, when he gets into that sweet spot of his voice and when he starts belting and that rasp comes out and you just hear that pleading and he's like, don't you remember you told me you love me, baby? But he has this rasp. He has this, it's like a pleading thing. It's like pain in his voice. And I say that in the best possible way. So his voice kind of has the potential to make people cry. And obviously, Alicia made the right decision in choosing Christian. I will caution Christian on, singing these like kind of like cliche ballads. Like in the blinds, he's saying, how am I supposed to live without you? Then he's saying Superstar. Like I genuinely feel Stevie Wonder, Ribbon in the Sky, Overjoyed, or Knocks Me Off My Feet coming his way, like in the very near future. Like I just see him singing one of those songs. It's fine if he sings it well. I just think that, he needs like to give maybe a different type of mood with a song maybe. But I mean, his voice is absolute money. So my actual like favorites out of the whole knockouts were, of course, Way, because Way is absolutely ridiculous. I would say Allie, this is from the first day, and Courtney and Christian. And I would probably give an honorable mention to Kylie and Simone, just because Simone was most improved. And the more I listened to Kylie's performance, the more, I was able to enjoy it. Now there's 14 more contestants left that need to sing, and I feel a montage coming next week. I just hope that it's not my girl Dana because she was already montaged in the battles. I hope Michael Sanchez isn't montaged. I don't think Soraya is going to be montaged because we just need to hear that powerful voice come at us on our television screens. But I'm trying to figure. It's a lot of people that still haven't performed yet, so I'm really hoping that. I know that they're going to do a montage, but I'm just really hoping that, my favorites are not montaged. So that's my plea. So that's it. This ran pretty long because I did discuss everybody. So I'm at the half an hour mark. So we're going to end this and I will see you next week. Bye.